Now, the Oral Committee's work has garnered significant interest since its inception. Now, to gain insight into the initiative's future, let's speak to Captain Retired Nkrabea Effah Dartey, a private legal practitioner and former NPP Member of Parliament for Brekum. Thank you very much, Captain, for joining us. Now, let's go straight to the conversation. When the NDC established the Oral Committee, did you foresee the complaints being referred to the Attorney General? And does this undermine the innovative approach that was promised?
Thank you very much, Prima, for giving me an opportunity to contribute to this very interesting subject. Fortunately, by the grace of God, I'm a lawyer. And as a lawyer, I know that there are two types of cases in court. Criminal cases and civil cases.
Right.
Criminal cases involve the Attorney General acting through his attorneys and the police, mounting prosecution on criminal charges against individuals for committing various offenses. Now, what has been happening almost all over the world is that how do we stamp out corruption in high places? How do we stamp out corruption in high places? I remember when our former president, Nana Akufo-Addo, took power, amid so much furore, amid so much fanfare, he appointed Martin Amidu as special prosecutor to weed out criminals from the system. But Martin Amidu could not prosecute even one fly in court. Then Nanado changed him and brought Kisi Ajabe. Kisi Ajabe for 4 years, he was vetted by the Appointments Committee, inaugurated into office, and for 4 years, he also could not prosecute a fly. I'm saying all this to confirm the point that when His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama took office, one of the first things he said was to appoint an interesting committee called ORA, Operation Recover All Loot. Operation Recover All Loot. He made this appointment without any executive instrument, without any executive order, without any legislative authority. It was as if in the heat of the moment, wanting to court popularity for fighting corruption, the president announced Operation Recover All Loot. And interesting enough, in less than 2 months, Operation Recover All Loot has come up with a report. I wonder what is in the report. Because nobody, mark my words, nobody, not even the Attorney General, can rely on the report to prosecute anybody. He cannot rely on the report to prosecute anybody.
But Captain, can that not serve as a lead?
Well, what he can do is to use the report as a lead, as a guide, as an introduction to call Mr. X, Mr. Y, Mr. Z to come and explain this or that or this or that, and come with lawyers to write statements and defend yourself. Answer questions before a panel of CID investigators or attorneys, and then eventually go to court. If mark my words, if they think there is a basis for prosecution, I think that all this oral furore is with much ado about nothing. It will end nowhere. Because, you know, in Ghana, we have a very elaborate system of justice. We have Attorney General's Department with a minimum of 50 lawyers responding to his orders. We have Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service with not less than 100 investigators dotted all over the country. They are more than adequate or more than enough to handle every criminal prosecution. The problem is there the political will? The problem is there a political will to enforce the prosecution? Look at what is happening. The new government of President John Dramani Mahama, one of the first things the Attorney General did was to enter nolli prosequi for 4 high-profile court cases involved in corruption in high places. 4. The Attorney General has entered nolli prosequi. The Attorney General says he will not continue the prosecution. So all those cases involving former Minister for Works and Housing, Colin Dowda, involving former
Cocoa Board boss, and yes, but Captain, so the team is expected to recover some $20 billion. Would you describe this as overly ambitious?
I won't say it is overly ambitious. No, I won't say it is ambitious at all. I will say that will they get anywhere? Will they get anywhere? The intentions are good. The intentions may be good, but will they succeed? Because eventually the law must take its course.
Right.
And when I say the law must take its course, it means you must, whoever is the suspect.
Now,
whether
quickly, Captain, if this is not able to be achieved, what would it mean to our already fragile justice system?
What would it do?
What would it mean? So if we are not able to recover, if we are not able to do much with oral, what would that mean to our justice system in terms of perception?
What it will mean is that we should strengthen the political will to back the existing structure. I remember, don't forget, I remember when I was in secondary school, Achimota, back in 1970. One of the offices that I feared most was Director of Public Prosecution.
Right.
DPP, in the Attorney General's Department. It was as if a DPP was somebody, a monster, who was watching the press of Ghana, who was watching the laws of Ghana. And if you make the slightest mistake and the DPP gets hold of you, you are finished.
Right.
Now, today, when was even the last time you heard the name DPP? Of course, there is a DPP. I think it's Mrs. Obobita also. There is a DPP. But when was the last time you heard of her name in the court? Prosecuting. And now that high-profile cases, that create the impression that the government or the state is cracking the whip on those who deserve to be whipped. Those cases have been discontinued.
Very well, very well. Thank you very much, Captain. So we'll be looking forward to how this case unfolds in the coming days. Thank you very much. We've been talking to Captain retired in Krabia Effah Dartey, who is a private legal practitioner and former NPP Member of Parliament for Brekum.